Welcome back to episode number 3, Roaring with Ryan here at TMSA Triangle High School. I'm joined by our fall athletic coaches as the fall athletic seasons are wrapping up and coming to an end. We'll start winter sports here shortly. So I wanted to get some of the coaches here on the podcast to talk about their seasons, preview maybe coming up in 2026 and what was occurring here in 2025. So I'm going to go around the room. Everyone's going to introduce themselves, and then we'll get into their seasons as a whole.
I am Patrick Mitchell, the men's and women's varsity cross country coach. This is my second year at TMSA, but I've been coaching this sport for 16 total years here in North Carolina.
My name is Asım Cengiz. This is my first year in North Carolina. I've been coaching about 20 years, not only tennis, soccer, wrestling, but it is girls tennis fall season. I was coaching, it is over, and second semester I'm gonna coach boys tennis.
I'm Chris Adamo. I'm in my 8th year here at TMSA. This is my second year with the soccer program. I've coached soccer starting since 1991, on and off, but the last 15 years pretty steadily.
Got it. Well, Patrick, we'll start with you. Cross country season. Talk about well, just kind of first off, what did you learn from this season, and just kind of what transpired in your mind, your takeaways from this year?
What I learned from this group is that they're very resilient. I was taking over a very successful program from the last several years, and anytime there's that transition, you always run into students wondering how the new program's going to be versus what was. They had a lot of success, and we were moving up in classification and in competitiveness, which was a concern from a bunch of them as well. But every single one of them stepped up and just overachieved from the beginning of the season to the end. And we've both finished as top 10 teams in the state at the end of the day. We had a state runner-up individual in our junior Ashevin, and it was a unqualified, successful season.
Yeah, and I feel like some people may not realize how much of a jump in competition that it was this year for the team, and so talk about what that kind of means, and just how good it was to see that from this team and what they were able to accomplish. Because I know some people may not be aware of kind of what that means.
Yeah, so the last several years, this program was a big fish in a small pond, and now that the association has expanded to 8 divisions and the conferences have expanded as such as well, they were dealing with teams that used to be 1A, teams that used to be 3A, and they all kind of blended into this 2A division and conferencing, and it just created stiffer competition. It was not going to be as easy for them to be repeat champions as they were, and they weren't, but they still ran significantly faster this year than they did last year across all metrics. And at the end of the day, that's how you base success in the sport. It's how fast you run from one year to the next.
And then as I wind down before I move on to tennis, next year obviously is still a year away, but in 2026, what are some of your goals for next year? Not just specifically team, but as an individually, as a coach, what are some things that you're looking forward to maybe for next year?
Individually, I'm just looking forward to continuing to get to know these kids better. Obviously, I've taught some of them, but as a coach, this is my first year coaching these high school kids at the cross-country level. As a team, we bring back 6 out of our 7 top girls, and we bring back 5 out of our 7 top boys, which that's what you want to have in a program to continue building success, and then you just never know who comes in as a freshman or anything else. So the prospects look good, and it's always premature to say goals for a year out, but it would be nice to improve upon our state finishing, not just being top 10, but hopefully maybe being top 5, but can't control the other runners from other teams, so all we can do is improve ourselves.
Absolutely. I'll be back to you here in a little bit. Let's go to tennis now.
Yes.
What was, again, your 30,000-foot view of this 2025 season, and some takeaways being in your first year as coach?
Yes, from last year, we lost some tennis players. They graduated, but I had still a couple players from last year. So we added I started with 6 players at the beginning of the year. Then we increased it to 18 players to get them ready for next year. So not everybody was playing, but they were practicing with them. So we had a player, tennis player, got a third place in the state. Also, as a team, trying to prepare them for next year. During spring too, they weren't supposed to come for spring, but they're gonna build tennis courts here.
Yeah.
And one day I like to train them to get them ready for next year. What I like about them is they are academically at good standing. Also, they cooperate very well outside of the tennis all together. Also, after the tennis matches, they wanted to go together, eat together after the games. We did. So, let's say tennis matches finished at like 6-7 p.m. Then they ate like one hour together, and then they went homes. So they were very open to each other. They cooperated very nicely. Friendship was nice. So it was very good. I liked it.
And tennis has had some success here at TMSA
Yes.
in the past. Talk about what that past success has kind of done for the program this year, and what it will be and beyond. As you mentioned, the tennis courts here are being built as we speak. So yeah, talk about some of that previous success that has been able to be built on here at TMSA in tennis.
There was a player. She got third place, and she's also president for SAC here. She's organizing many events here. I'm very glad. She's from tennis, so we are trying to add more players like her. So we wanna get ready in advance to build up such players. That's why I'm gonna spend more time on the second semester.
And then, is there just for people like me who are not as, I haven't played tennis as much
Yeah.
as some of the other sports, coaching boys versus girls tennis, what is kind of like is there a big difference in coaching that, or is it pretty similar?
It is the same as in classes. Boys and girls, they have different reactions and friendship situations. They are similar to the other situations. They're not major differences as far as general, you know.
Yeah, because unlike some of the other sports, obviously, where they're in the same season, girls and boys tennis are obviously in a separate season. So.
Oh, as far as seasons.
Yeah.
They had to go to Think Part first.
Okay.
Fall, it was hard for them because we didn't provide buses. We went every day first 2-3 weeks, so it was hard for them. But second semester they're gonna have the courts here.
Right.
So
That's gonna be helpful.
Yeah, girls had disadvantage. So I think next year is gonna be okay.
What are your goals for next year in 2026?
So I wanna build them up early, as I told you
Yeah.
before. So I want, as a team, we like to be successful in states, not also individuals. We like to be successful as a team also. Like boys, they were conference champion last year, but we want to do the same thing for girls too.
Awesome. Let's go into soccer, Chris. Coach Chris, talk about the 2025 season as a whole from your view. Obviously, another sport that TMSA has had, well, really all three of these sports, specifically cross-country, soccer, and tennis, have all had success at TMSA in past years. Got to see the boys in action over at Team Park earlier this year. So talk about the 2025 season as a whole.
Well, honestly, I didn't know what to expect going in, going to a higher level, 2A. We did have success last year. We won our conference in the single A, but first time in Diamond 9 and all, it's exceeded all my expectations. Honestly, we have a 12-9 overall record. That's including some games against some 8A schools. Took some losses, but we learned a lot from. And in the conference, we ended up 10-6, fourth place overall, and really very close to having, possibly moved up even further from there. We did. Our prior crowning success this season was we toppled the number 1 in the state 3A team, NCSSM, and that was their only loss for the season. So that was just a crowning achievement for us, and I was so proud of our boys. I mean, they've worked so hard, starting in the heat of July. So, it's just been great. For one thing, it's been awesome about it, too, is having our practice field here. It's really helped. We still play our games over at Pleasant Park, but having the practice field here, getting to play right out of the school doors has been huge. So, again, I'm so proud of these guys, and it's just gone beyond my expectations.
Yeah, and you mentioned the 3A upset, North Carolina School Science and Math. Again, I think people just may not be as aware with when it comes to moving up even from 2A to 3A, and just kind of a step up of what that looks like. Yes, the upset itself is obviously nice, and there's recognition from that, sure. But that also speaks to the work they put in, the talent that's on the team, and also just being able to, as a coach, get the best out of those players and able to, for them to step up and seize the moment when things like that occur.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, this team is, NCSSM, I mean, they just seemed so dominant based on their scores. We had taken them to overtime in the previous game, but once they broke through in overtime, we ended up losing 6-1. They were just that powerful. And they have huge size. They're all juniors and seniors. That's all they have there at that school. And so, the kids were a little bit intimidated first in that game. But having taken them to overtime, I really felt like we had a chance. And this, when I needed them to step up, they did. And we took it to them 1-0. It was a great game. It's just so it's just the embodiment of everything that we've been shooting for, and the fact that we have such support too. People came out for that game. Parents really rallied, and more and more crowds have been coming out and supporting the team, and it's made a lot of difference.
And then finally, your 2026 goals for next season and things to build on come next year.
Well, I guess before I get to that, we have a game today that I'm hoping that we can get through the second round of the playoffs. And so I want to see where we end up. And whatever we do, I want to always take one further step next year is kind of what I'm looking at. So wherever we end up this time, hopefully it's the state championship. But we'll see. But whatever it is, I want to take that next step. As far as the playing field, as far as everything else about the program, I want us to continue to just be our program, I want it to be professional. I want it to be a disciplined program. I want it to be something that people are proud of. And